The LNG regasification facility was inaugurated by the Chief Minister, Fabian Picardo, and Executive Vice President of Shell, Steve Hill. The facility has been completed by Shell and is operated by its subsidiary Gasno. There are 5 steel tanks, each with the capacity to hold 1,000 cubic meters of LNG.
It's a facility that stores LNG and then is able to regasify that LNG and to pump the LNG then in gasified form, so as a natural gas by then, not liquid anymore, but in gaseous form like you would have on your barbecue or gas-fired fireplace into the power plant, so the power plant can then convert it into electricity through burning it. The facility also has the ability to receive that LNG, so LNG is being delivered by ships. They are smaller LNG ships than you see in the big open water domain, so they're specialized LNG ships and they deliver LNG here to Gibraltar, basically then sit on the bay and transfer the LNG into that tank, and then over the course of the coming days it gets slowly sent out as natural gas into the power station.
The government says the power station has already been generating electricity with LNG. However, there are still 3 weeks or so to complete commissioning.
The Shell facility is ready to provide gas, and the power station, the new power station, is already ready and taking gas. It's been taking gas now for some months. We've already completely tested 3 of the engines, the dual-fired engines that take diesel and gas. We're now going to test the 3 engines that only take gas, and then we have to try and simulate problems on the grid to test against those errors and problems to ensure that the grid and the power station and the LNG facility behave as expected in the context of testing in those circumstances. So both sites are ready at the same time. One is already supplying the other, and the power station is already producing electricity that is going into the grid.
Yeah, so there hasn't been any trouble to control anything. That I want to put up front. But there have been, during the period of commissioning and testing, there is less consumption of the LNG than during normal operation. So it always required careful planning between the delivery of the LNG, the maintenance indeed of the operational parameters in the terminal, and the offtake program in the power plant. So we have had a good it's always some back and forth and some discussion needed, but overall we had a very good program so far, and now we're nearing the completion of all the testing elements, so I'm very happy about that.
The aim, according to the Chief Minister, is to provide Gibraltar with a reliable source of energy, one that, while still a fossil fuel, is more environmentally friendly than diesel. Speaking at a reception on board the Sunborn Hotel, Fabian Picardo said his government wanted to ensure it made the right choice for future generations. He added Gibraltar can now look forward to decades of clean, safe power from the port.